Welcome back to Adobe live from OFF 2019. And I'm here with Katie and Abel from Cabeza Patata, the potato head.
That's a good pronunciation.
Yeah. Cabeza Patata.
Yeah, that's it.
I can do that. Welcome to everybody in the chat. This is day 2 live from OFF Barcelona. And hello everybody in the chat. Munir is here, Semarina, Christian, Nicola, Lisa, well, anyway, hello. Hello everyone. So remember, the cool thing about Adobe Live is the ability that you have to ask questions live to our great guests today. And we have a packed agenda again today. We're going to have Ouch, we're going to have Alex Daly, we're going to have some people who work with us at Adobe. We're going to have Studio Lobulo and Will McNeil from
From the mill.
From the mill, of course.
He's a good friend as well.
Okay.
We worked together years ago.
So packed day again today. I'm glad that you're back for day 2. And yeah, let's get started with Cabeza Patata. So, Katie, Abel, tell us a little bit about you and how did this all start? I mean, where do you come from and what's your background? Let's start with that.
Well, we actually come from completely different backgrounds. That's kind of what our talk in OFF is based about, because we only started our studio just over a year ago, and we've already done so many things.
Yeah. I worked as a motion designer for years, mainly in London, but also during a while, we're a couple as well. So we moved together for a while to France, and then I worked in different places around the world. I always liked traveling and the ability that freelance life was giving me to go to different places. And then over a year ago, we started testing. It was a little game. Katie has been doing illustration for a bit shorter than me. Before I was doing, when I was doing motion design, Katie was studying politics and French.
Okay.
So, but she always liked illustration. But you finished university, you have your degree, and then you turn into an illustrator after that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how French politics? Or
politics
and French. Okay.
Yeah.
So because French politics just
it's very specific. Yeah.
Awesome.
But,
And so you were always freelancing?
I was freelancing, and then you were freelancing for a little bit as well, but in something different, embroidery.
Yeah.
Embroidery.
Yeah, so I started in this industry totally differently. I was doing a lot of embroidery with my brand La Katie and personalized embroideries, and I started making a lot of characters in this time. And then somehow the embroidery I was doing and the 3D that Abel was doing seemed to mix together and create these characters.
Yeah, it's something that the way I was enjoying by then, like doing 3D, I always liked 3D and 3D modeling. And the ability that Katie had to do like things that related to clothes and embroidery is basically, I think, what made the studio happen. But the beginning was just an exploration.
Okay.
We didn't have a name. For the beginning, it was just us. And then we put a name over, like on a weekend, we made a website, we put a name, we made the logo, we made everything.
So did you Google things that were not taken? Or
well, we thought probably Cabeza Patata is not taken.
Yeah. The name is a very random word that Katie started saying sometimes. She asked me one day how you call Mr. Potato Head in Spanish, but we call him Mr. Potato. So no Cabeza Patata.
Okay.
But she found very, very funny the word Cabeza Patata. It has so many A's. And it's so open, like Cabeza, like how you say it in Spanish. Yeah. So we went for it.
Yeah, Lisa says, what a team. Yeah. And Matthias, Tim, yeah. Tim is our moderator. He's in Germany. And
he does embroidery too.
Oh.
No, I think that was a joke. Okay, so, and then you decided to move to Barcelona and start that new adventure.
Yeah, well, we came to Barcelona about 2.5 years ago. And we came because I wanted to study more, but this time illustration. So I was doing a master's near here in Bau in illustration, and Abel was freelancing during the time. And then just as I was finishing this, we started to work together.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't finish. You were finishing university, and Cabeza Patata started taking more momentum, and we started getting more and more projects. So we had a weird moment in which you had to leave class because we had a meeting with a client. The thing started getting weird.
It's a kind of double life.
But it was important for you as well to finish the degree. And for me, I wanted to make a transition of living the freelance life slowly. So I was still taking jobs from clients that I liked or projects I liked. And then I think it was this last summer, we decided that that was it, that we were going to only work on this, put all our time.
Okay.
And yeah, it's been very fun since.
And what's your talk at OFF about?
Our talk is called How to Make a Studio in a Year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's 10 tips.
we're giving 10 tips, some of them more serious, some of them a little silly, related a bit about how we made the studio and the advice that we might give to either people starting out or people who want to change their career a bit. Or
Is this something you can share with our audience, or you don't want to talk
The
about it
tips.
before the talk?
Well, some of the tips are things that we've been talking a lot during this year. Like we really like to think about what's happening and try to be in control of where we are taking this project. And one of the things, one of the things that we felt is that there's this sense that there's some magical moment in which everything comes together. And obviously the moment
The
in which
perfect storm.
yeah,
Yes.
the moment in which we discovered the name was kind of that, because that was weird. But our art wasn't like that. Like when we see stuff that we were making a year ago, we don't really like it. And it was only through a lot of iterations of the same subject that we managed to get somewhere. I think as soon as you find something that is a bit interesting, or you see that there is potential for something else, that's when you have to explore it.
yeah, and don't worry if it doesn't really look good so far. Just keep on doing it, and if you feel like it, it probably will end up.
Okay, so in the chat they're already asking, can you show us some work, please? So let's do that.
Yeah.
So, of course, this is your Instagram page.
Yeah.
And you take it from here and like maybe explain a little bit, the process, what you guys do.
So we try to publish a lot on Instagram. Lately, with more commercial projects that are more like a video format, we find less time to do these little projects on Instagram. But the little projects is the way we've been exploring different characters and different subjects. Usually what we do is we choose a subject. Sometimes we had a time like 3 months in which we were exploring music. So we were making things related. You go down?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's around here. So we were exploring things related to music and with movement of the body.
Yeah.
So for example, this couple dancing, is this exploration of the same subject, and also like we explored the same colors during that time, no? In a way, I don't know if it's...
Yeah, I don't know if it's clear here because, well, Instagram is a bit different from how we normally present our projects on Behance.
Well, we can move over to Behance if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Have you got it up here?
I think the link is up there.
This
like
one?
on
I
top
see.
of the
I
page.
think.
Oh, maybe this one?
I think it's that. No, that's not a project, but that's
Okay,
fine.
okay.
It's fine.
So our website is connected to Behance. So what we have in our website and we have in Behance
so
is the
you're
same.
using the portfolio function?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is something that people always forget, is that, there's a really great portfolio function in your Behance portfolio. And it's not only the projects like Behance usually shows them, you can actually create your page just like you guys did.
Yeah, for us it's almost the same. The only difference we have from our Behance portfolio to our website is things like the font and little details like that. So what we do usually, we publish the project on Behance, and just after we publish it, we go to our website, we modify, we tweak all those little things, and that's it.
Yeah. So we keep all of the same images and the same layout and everything, and we like to put explanations of why we decided to make certain images or what our inspirations might have been for them. You can see in this project, this is the one we were just talking about, the music and movement, how we were exploring lots of the way that the positions of the body and the way that people move to music.
And when you present your projects, do you also show maybe the initial phases, like your sketches?
Yeah, we
or-
have some
Do this
examples
as
of that.
well.
Yeah, I think the perfect one for that is the one we made for Apple.
Yes.
So this we made for the Chinese New Year.
Okay.
So the App Store makes special events for the Chinese New Year, and they were suggesting apps that you can use to connect with your family or play with them. And in this project, we are sharing the entire process. It's really fun to see. This is the initial sketch, and it's so similar.
Yeah. So adding color
To the final version is so similar, the sketches to
Yeah.
what we got in the end. This is the version, this is what we call the clay render.
Okay.
So before putting all the textures, this is how our stuff looks. And we really like sharing this with the clients because it gets them so excited. And to be fair, sometimes we even like it more than the final image. It looks so nice. And it's a really good way of getting them excited before jumping into textures and color. So, and also it makes them understand the position of characters because sometimes if the client sees like a red that they don't like, they only focus on that red, and they don't see the bigger picture.
Oh, that's a very good. That's a very good tip.
And you can see as well here, showing the process, how really nothing has changed from this image, from the initial sketch that we showed to this, which is the final image. Everything's really in the same position. It was such a smooth process, and we think it's really fun to show each stage for this one.
Yeah, we like sharing a lot of the process, and if people follow us on Instagram, on stories we share even more.
You mentioned you also share making cakes and things like that.
Yeah. We were saying like sometimes we like sharing things from our personal life, even if our followers don't like it as much. This
they
Christmas,
maybe aren't so interested.
This Christmas we made it was a carrot cake, and I think it was like maybe like 20 posts explaining every step, how many eggs, how much
not
butter.
Not a lot of reaction.
No. People are like into 3D. Maybe they are not into carrot cakes. I don't know. Or maybe they are into eating them, but not making them.
So of course, in the chat, they're asking what application do you use for your 3D modeling?
So we use Cinema 4D for the modeling, but then we moved to Marvelous Designer.
Okay.
It's a clothes application. You make digital clothes with them.
Okay.
But the way it works, Katie can explain because she knew how to.
Yeah, because it's very similar to making clothes in real life, actually, which is something that I've always done. And you make a pattern on one side of the screen, and then on the other side of the screen, you see the physical model. So you digitally sew your pattern to the model, which is really cool because our characters have such crazy proportions, but you can make clothing for any proportions. It doesn't need to be realistic in any way.
And sometimes we like even making our own clothes with using the system, which is a really fun thing. And it's really fun that Katie has a lot of like when she made a lot of her own clothes, and at home you have a lot of the patterns, that you have to make the clothes, and we can translate those directly into 3D. And right now we are doing the inverse thing. So we've been doing a 3D printing of one of our characters. And to make the clothes for the character, now we're using the digital clothes. We printed that on paper and we cut the fabric using that as a reference. So
awesome.
It's very fun.
So can you just say again the name of the second application?
It's called Marvelous.
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 Easy to remember as well.
Easy to remember.
It's an application originally done for fashion, but it got so good that they are using it now for video games, for example. I think like all the Assassin's Creed video games have been using it to make the clothes.
Quite a different look from Cabeza Patata.
Not that many people, now there's more information on the internet. A year ago when we started learning it, there were only tutorials from a Russian guy on YouTube speaking in Russian. So we were there trying to see the videos and trying to discover what was the tricks of the program, which is sometimes complex, but I think now we know how to use it.
It's pretty fun.
Is there any other projects that you're really proud of?
You can sew New York Times. I think is a great.
Yeah, this was such a fun project for us. It's an article called How to Dress Up. And so we made...
Perfect for,
right? We made 6 illustrations for different scenarios you might need to dress up. So these are our favorite characters, actually.
So this is how to dress up on casual occasion. If they tell you you're going to a casual party, that's how to dress.
To wear, which is basically what we wear all the time. That's why I love it so much.
This is
and
for
also this one.
This one is
dressy casual. Which there's a very slight difference there.
Yeah, it's a step further. You shouldn't use like Converse, but you can use shoes.
But we really enjoyed making this project because, the client was so open to whatever we wanted to do, really, and basically we were just sending clothes references back and forth, and it was such a different way for us to be illustrating and for us to be using 3D. I think normally 3D characters aren't used in this type of editorial illustration.
You can imagine them on the App Store, but you cannot imagine that the New York Times is going to put 3D characters wearing realistic clothes. It's very weird, and that's why we liked it so much, that they were brave enough to do this type of project.
I think it works great. I mean, this type of illustration and
this is
the
business.
Clothes look so real,
This is some people have asked us in the past if they were real figures. Because we've been putting so much effort on the clothes.
It's always a shame to say they weren't real figures.
And then this is for black tie.
Black tie.
Yeah. And then the most luxurious one, this is a white tie. So if anyone in the audience one day has to go to the Oscars,
that's how you dress on the red carpet. Awesome. And there was a question as well, like how does it work for you now? Do you target clients or do clients come to you?
Recently, clients have been coming to us actually directly, which is really great.
And also direct clients. The one thing that we really enjoy is having as the few steps possible. If we can talk directly, I mean, if we could, we would like to talk to the CEO of any company. But it's really nice to talk directly to the team. And the relationship with the New York Times or with Apple or with Google is being directly with the client, without an agency in the middle. And it's just,
that's awesome.
It's so easy to communicate.
So is it like an internal agency, maybe the internal design department that commissions you?
I mean, these companies are so big that they have, even inside the company, there are departments. You have to go through many steps. But still, you are talking to the people that are connected to the brand all the time. And I think also we like that it means that they come to us because they really like our stuff. It's not they went to an agency and the agency chose, I don't know, 7 people and then they selected one. They came to us. And usually that means that they like our characters and they want to do something that is exactly like what we
So
do.
the process is really smooth and really fun. And it's more about, we say, oh, we've done this. And they say, oh, it's amazing, but I love it. Let's make more. Let's have more details on the clothes or more accessories. And that's the perfect feedback.
Back in my time, I had to go through all these annual, art directors' books and things to find talent. Now it's so easy to actually find the things you like or think that are appropriate for your brand or something that you would envision in your article on the New York Times. It's so. Yeah, I find it great. Yeah,
and easy for people who are learning or studying as well. I think to find and connect with artists they really like. I always found that amazing when I was beginning in illustration. That you could follow someone and comment on their picture on Instagram, and they might be some incredible studio in the States, and they'll reply to your message, and that seems so unusual to me still.
We love that. We love those connections, really cool. And we have so many friends that are not real friends, like not really friends because we haven't met them yet, but we know them on the internet, we like their stuff.
You almost know them,
and then when you meet them in events like this, it's amazing. All the connections you have without knowing each other.
I think that's that's a recurring point during the stream as well here at OFF is that the main thing, because many people then ask, how do you get jobs? How do you do this? How do you do that? It's all about building connections and building, fostering conversation and talking even with unknown people and
not being scared of we all have in our heads an idea of what is a designer or what is a creative, and it looks so strange when you are in university or even before going to uni. It looks like there are some aliens that are, but it's not like that. It's just people. You can talk to them and you can get there by steps, and sometimes you might be not as good as you want to be, but with time you can get to interesting points.
And there's another, Alexandre is asking, did you ever use Fuse or Dimension?
No, we don't. No.
Okay.
No.
These are the Adobe applications for creating 3D character, 3D people,
No, we don't. The way the Adobe apps we use on our process are Photoshop. We use a lot to make textures. We do Adobe Animate as well when we need to. Sometimes even when we do 3D characters, the patterns we make on the clothes. Right now we're working on a project in which everything is animated on the clothes.
Oh, wow.
Which is super fun. It's a bit of like that Rorschach effect, the character from Watchmen that has this mask that is moving. So we are making that, but it's not creepy. It's just very lovely on the clothes.
I can't imagine you doing creepy stuff.
No, we don't have an example of that.
Maybe one day. And Lisa is asking, would you say that Instagram is your main showcase, or?
We were talking about this before actually, and we think that we love posting on Instagram but it's more, I guess, for friends or connecting with other artists or people like this. And our main showcase for clients is, I think, Behance. Because we can create a whole project like that. So we were trying to show you things before on Instagram, and it was a little bit more disconnected and difficult. But as soon as we entered into the Adobe portfolio, we could show a bit clearer. And I think clients like to see that as well.
Yeah,
they don't want to see just random.
I think in this case, Instagram is very important. Like if people are just browsing around and say, oh, that's cool, click, and then they discover your website or your Behance portfolio.
And everything is so structured on our Behance. We even start structuring the project before publishing it. Like sometimes it's funny, like it's almost Behance is deciding when a project is done because we are building it. For example, we were making the Music and Movement, that series about dancing and sound. We were putting everything on Behance, and at some point, we felt that when you were scrolling, it was feeling like it had enough weight to be able to be published. And it's something we see as well. Sometimes we see amazing stuff on published on Behance, but maybe it's only one image on the project, or maybe it's one image and a small sketch. And for us, there's not enough weight on that. And I think as as artists, sometimes we are a bit of our own company. Like we're running, even if we are two, we are running all the departments of our company. We have to do accounting, we have to do marketing, we have to do and
social
that part,
media.
And that part of putting the projects and giving like importance to the projects, I think is one of the most important parts. Obviously, making good art is the most important one.
But we'll be looking at two portfolios just in a second. We're going to be doing some portfolio reviews at in about 9 minutes. Looking at portfolios, we have them up already. We'll probably see some examples of what you're talking about, like the storytelling in a portfolio. Is there another project that you want to show us?
Yeah, we can show something completely different. I think we can show Google, the project we made for Google. Because having all these characters, we really like when a client really challenges what you're doing and asks for something completely different. And this happened with Google. So they came to us, they wanted to make Christmas stickers. So it's like they have the Gboard, the keyboard that they have, and they have stickers. People are used to them. We use them all the time on Facebook, and all the applications now have them. But the thing they had is because they wanted to appeal every single market in the world, they didn't want to have characters, because the characters will have to represent every gender, every ethnicity, and it was impossible to make that. So they wanted to make Christmas objects as characters. And suddenly we found ourselves not having the possibility of using our characters with the long necks. And it was a big challenge.
It's like, it's a challenge,
But you can show that.
Yeah, definitely. But we took a lot of iterations to get there, though, to get to this type of soft cuteness and using completely different colors the whole time.
Yeah, today in our talk we're going to show these Christmas trees that Katie was scrolling by. They were the first iteration we sent to the client. We're going to show it in our talk. It's so ugly. Like you see it and it's so creepy.
Yeah, kind of scary. Actually, you were saying you never make anything creepy, but accidentally we made
accidentally, okay.
some quite creepy ones.
Yeah. And it's so nice, like, like showing projects in this way. We even show like photos of how we are working on the project, and it's you can see how we structure everything. We even put pieces of text, and we put quite a lot of time and love into
each
the
project,
text.
definitely.
Yeah,
we like to explain about the project, as we were just explaining to you what it's for, who it's for, and the challenges that we faced, and how we overcame them.
Yeah, these stickers are. We represented them as ways of expressing different things during Christmas. So depending on what people, we were working with Google like on what do people want to send to other people on Christmas. So
I'm cold.
Yeah, this could be that you're cold. You could be talking about like the arrival of presents. This bubble, like we imagine that sometimes if you are late or like you are happy on Christmas, this is the Christmas feeling with the candles, that warmness that you feel on Christmas. So it's so many different contexts, but we didn't want it to be too obvious, so we didn't want to have Santa. So instead of having Santa, we had only the legs. Yeah, and this I really like this one, that is having a hot tea or a hot chocolate maybe.
And
so
it's
melting.
melting, So what's happening?
Yeah, at the beginning we made him like, or her, but so worried about being melting, and then Google said that was too much, that they want to look like.
All positive,
the
it was nice
was
for us as well, because I think we genuinely really love Christmas, so they kind of thought that we were joking at the beginning, but we were like, no, this is perfect.
Yeah, we're the type of people that when someone says like, oh, I hate Christmas, we really stand up to them and say, no, we love Christmas. And I encourage everyone that loves Christmas to do that.
Fight for what you love.
I think it comes through in the stickers and the characters we made.
I love this one. That's spinning like the star, you know? Star of the show during Christmas time.
Yeah.
Do you have maybe one of your first projects? So we can maybe see like a progression? Or
yeah, we have here on this page. This is the first thing we posted on Behance. Everyday Women. So Katie was making this came before we were Cabeza Patata. Katie was making these illustrations on the right side of like women on everyday life.
Yeah. As we were talking about, we like to already start making everything a project. So when I was starting to do illustrations, I was starting to think about, okay, I'll make a series of illustrations about something, and I couldn't really think of anything, and I was like, okay, why don't I just do those kind of everyday things that no one is actually really drawing or representing, like putting on your bra.
Or reading a book.
Reading a book like this, or someone sitting here smoking. It's kind of... and so we decided to put them into 3D, and they look really different from what we've been showing you earlier, we feel. We feel the style has advanced a lot since then.
By this time we didn't know how to make clothes. So as you can see, these clothes we have here are modeled directly in the program.
They look more plasticky,
Yeah, they look more plasticky. And this is style, we don't necessarily dislike this, but this style doesn't allow the ability to show real bodies and to show clothes and how they look on different characters. And it's something that we really like because we like exploring the human body and the human position. So this style is something we could have decided to explore, but we decided to move towards another way.
And interestingly, we found that creating the characters in 3D then started to influence the 2D, which then started to influence the 3D more. I have a nice example for this, I think, is the sports series, which was another personal project we made. And this, you can see already that the bodies of the characters are starting to take a lot more of a real shape and feel a lot more like they have some muscles and they have some dynamism in them, both in the 2D and then following into the 3D.
Yeah, this project is where we started experimenting with that type of body, and it was the reason why we learned clothes. It was mainly because of this project, because we wanted to make different sports, and without being able to make clothes, you cannot represent the sport because they are so characteristic. It was super fun, this project. I really like it. I still really like it. Even if I feel like things look quite different since then, this was a real turning point in the direction that we wanted to go in, I think.
Awesome. I think, let's look at one more project, and then we're going to go to portfolio reviews. But I love this progression, you know, like I always find it interesting, like to look at the first project and then the last ones, because so much happens in 1 year.
A lot.
So
a lot. When
changes.
you focus on only one thing, we can show this project. This is the project we made. It's completely different to our normal style. This is the project we made for Barcelona's book, like the book they edit every year. So we got yesterday the print. We really wanted to see it. And they asked us to represent our spirit animal. So they said, like, do an illustration that represents an animal, because they have been playing with this.
That's another challenge.
Right? Yeah, definitely. And we thought it was a great challenge because for a while we've been wanting to make a different type of character. And making an animal that still looks a bit Cabeza Patata was a fun thing for us. And we made this squirrel in her sewing room because we love craft still and we love handmade things as well. So. And
also these type of projects, and when you go out of your comfort zone, it makes you sometimes re-examinate or rethink what our studio is about. Some people, or maybe a client, thinks, oh, these guys are about rounded head with long necks. But then when we do something completely different, even ourselves are like, oh, maybe we can make characters, animals, and it's so fun. And we still think, and many people have said that they still see our character style in this illustration. So maybe we're going to start making a lot of animals.
I hope so.
And have you ever thought about animating those characters?
Yeah, we've done some small animations before, but we wanted to really feel like we knew the characters well, and we knew all the colors and the shapes and everything before we started animating. So obviously it's a much longer process, and we wanted to get the best result possible. And now we feel like we're at that point. And,
we are working on a project. Unfortunately, it's a secret project. We cannot talk about it. But it's a project that involves a lot of animation. But I can say that it involves a lot of animation.
I'm just kidding,
So it involves a lot of animation, and it's to see our characters animated by professional character animators. It's incredible. We know how to animate a little bit, but to see someone that is dedicating their life to make the characters to animate well. The first time we got the first animation from the animator, and the animator asked us to give feedback, and we felt embarrassed about giving feedback to that. We were like, this is perfect. This is amazing.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like you don't necessarily have to do everything. I mean, you know, there's people who specialize in character animation, and they can pick up the work you did in Cinema 4D and work with that.
Yeah,
so.
we're learning more, and as the projects get bigger, to delegate.
Yeah,
it's
that's
difficult.
hard, huh?
It's difficult because it's our little baby, it's our project, and sometimes it's like, oh no. But then we've been seeing things that friends have been doing, like animating our textures, for example.
We've always loved to collaborate on personal work, so we thought, why not collaborate as well on the professional work? And it means that we're getting such a great result, and it's really fun to work with different people as well on the same thing.
One last question: how much space, how much time do you give your personal work or personal explorations inside of your daily client work?
So this is a weird thing. We are a couple, so we live together, and it's like Cabeza Patata right now is 24 hours a day. Yeah. So we don't decide to stop working on commercial stuff. So obviously sometimes between project and project we have time for personal things, but then also when we are at home, we continue doing things.
Okay.
So it's if you see like on our Instagram, for example, we've been doing some projects. This is, for example, a personal project that we've been doing. A friend, actually, because we didn't have time to finish the head. Our friend Georgie helped us making this head. And this is the type of thing we like to do on our personal time. But
get away from the screens a bit as well.
And as well, we probably have images of like going. We like right now. We're not posting it that much.
Think we do.
Well, do we have any? Probably, yeah. We have some images of us painting in Barcelona.
Nice.
Yeah. So these are some walls
like
we painted.
murals.
We like painting murals.
Awesome.
We are not the best at it, but it's so nice, especially here in Barcelona. The city has free murals that you can go. You don't have to run when the police arrives, and you can be there on a Sunday painting with friends. It's really nice.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's great stuff, and I can't wait to hear your talk here at OFF.
Oh, thank you.
So let's look at the portfolios that we have today. I think, let me see. Oh, it's off here. Let me go here. So the first one we're going to be looking at is from Irache. That's a Spanish name, no?
Yeah, Irache. I guess she's from the Basque country.
Okay.
It's a Basque
Sounds
name.
like it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful name.
And that's this one,
I
think. Yeah, okay. So, I hope you're here in the chat. Let's see if, how do you say the name?
I think the name is Irache.
Irache. Okay. Yeah. I hope you're in the chat, Irache, because we're going to be looking at your portfolio with Cabeza Patata.
Should we go through, should we take one project then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just go and click on one.
Which one do you want to choose? Well, I really like this.
Yeah, go for it.
I like the whole style in general and all the colors that really jump out at you like this. Con la calle a la cuestas. Ah, this one's a video. Should we watch the video? Or?
Yeah, why not?
Great. Yeah, and she said she's called Kitsune Studio. So I wonder if it's just her or if it's a whole studio. That's what we talk about as well. Really nice, really nice style really and everything. Nice. Super nice.
This is really nice. Just seeing this project, the treatment of colors, for me, it's fantastic. And when people know how to work with color and to make good compositions, the rest is so easy.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to be able to situate elements in an image and to be able to choose the colors. We recommend when you are starting.
Yes, she's here.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, hello, Adachi.
Hello.
We recommend to everyone that is starting to put themselves limitations at the beginning when you start making things. It's so easy to start putting more and more elements. But working with a more flat style and playing with 4 colors is just the best way to get good results.
Yeah, in this project we were showing you earlier about the everyday women, really that was 3 colors.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to work from there and then start adding them. And for example,
and your Apple project, all gray first?
Yeah.
Totally. And for example, a composition like this is actually very complex and very difficult to arrive to, even if I think the aim is to make it look so easy and like a storybook. It looks very professional.
I really, really like it.
I suppose the only thing I would say in terms of building a project, the way that it's presented on Behance is, well, we always like to put a lot of text into our projects and a lot of explanation of what the project is, why we made it, who we made it for, what were our inspirations or references, maybe some challenges we faced. And
I think this is so important to tell the story behind the project. Okay, first of all, why did you make it? Is it a passion project? Is it a project for a client? How was it ever produced? If it got produced, maybe show some prints or things from the real world. But yeah, because this is one thing that is super important. And as you mentioned, it's when I'm looking for talent, you know, many people can do pretty pictures, but I like to see how the process goes, how it was all put together, what the idea behind it was.
And even, for example, I don't know if this project was done by only one person, but adding text at the end, putting some credits, and explaining how many people were involved in this, or even if it was one person. Because sometimes we don't know anything. When you go into a project, or we are checking right now this portfolio, we don't have any information. And when you are looking for talent, you want to see, because one thing that is very important, obviously, is very, very honest. If you haven't done everything on a project, you need to say it. You shouldn't lie about it. And I think to do that and to give that information helps everyone to understand what they are looking at. Should we
Can we just go back to the homepage?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see the description as well. Like, okay, kitsune means kitchen.
I don't know.
I
don't know. Like,
maybe she
could
tell
tell
us.
us.
Yeah, what does kitsune mean?
I like this. I like the logo a lot as well.
Yeah, the logo is really nice.
Cool.
Is there any other project that sparked your?
Do you want to choose one?
You can click on.
I like this one a lot as well. I love all the colors in general, but I really like these slightly softer ones.
Yeah, for example, this one, it's a project that has been worked much more in terms of explaining. At the beginning, she's saying this is some animation for a kitchen program about nutrition and recipes, and it's teaching people how to eat in a healthy way.
So and it's really fun how it's presented here. Immediately you get the information about it, and also you have this
fun
logo.
I like the little header there, with the little shadows. That's
really pretty.
Yeah,
also it's using a function I really like to use on Behance, which is using the mosaic. So this allows you to, because if you only put the images with full width, taking the entire screen, you are not creating any hierarchy. And we do that a lot. We sometimes put 2 images, or we put 3 images on the same row. And that allows to say, okay, this is the main thing, and these are some small renders that maybe we are getting some detail, or showing you one texture, and that hierarchy is making it easier to read. You're making like a little magazine page with your Behance profile.
It's something that needs to be designed as well.
Yeah, more than anything, it could be misleading for a client if you have one work in progress that's bigger, they might think that's the final image or be confused about that. So
very nice series. Oh, there's a video as well.
Yeah, there's a video here. It's really nice. It's really nice presented. Again, really interesting use of color, really nice composition. I think it's a really nice. That transition is really lovely. Yeah, I think this Behance profile is something I I really appreciate seeing. The love from the illustration and
I would even love to see more information about the project though. I'd love to see who the people are here, where the inspiration came from.
Oh, no, here it is. That's fantastic.
There we are. They look just like them too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is fantastic. This is this is really good. And sometimes you can even you need to be careful with mock-ups, obviously, but sometimes you can show things on side. Like maybe if this was on the TV, you can make an amazing photo of a TV with the program. Or you could try to get the most. For me, the fact that this amazing image that you are showing that this was on the TV in Spain, in the Basque countries, it's an amazing thing to have done this. And I think you should have put it at the very beginning. You need to say, wow, this was live. This was a commercial project. I'm ready to work professionally. I can communicate with a TV channel. You are showing so many things.
This is so important, and this is why the explanations are important. And like to your point, these 2 pictures at the end tell me, okay, she's done you know, like
very
stuff,
commercial stuff that
very,
is quite, you know, working on TV.
Yeah.
For me, the first time I had an animation that appeared on TV, I couldn't believe it. I was.
Did you call your friends and parents?
It was very weird, and I remember as well another time was the weirdest sensation. I wasn't listening to the TV, but the TV was on, and a promo I had been working on. It was in London for a while. I heard it on the TV, I heard the music, and suddenly I looked around and I saw the promo I had been working on for months, and it was so weird. I was like, what is going on? Why are they doing that? How did it get there?
So Kitsune says, Kitsune is, in Japan mythology, is a fox.
That explains the logo of the fox then.
Fox,
I really
the
like
real
it.
name is Kitsune, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I really like it. I like the name of the company.
Yeah.
Shall we choose another project?
Yes, one last one.
One last one. Maybe we can choose something a little different.
Something at the beginning as well, like around
one of
here.
the earlier projects. Maybe this one.
Yeah,
that looks very cool. So it says a personal illustration based on our favorite series, Game of Thrones.
I'm seeing another thing of a bit of inconsistency between languages. Like it looks like sometimes he's deciding to put it in English, sometimes in Spanish. I personally recommend mainly going in English. I know that this can be controversial because I don't want to attack, you know, Spanish market. I'm a Spanish myself, but the market is so international that sometimes communicating in English is better. And I think if you want to communicate in Spanish, you need to make it obvious. But you need to decide.
Yes.
Which
who
are
one?
you talking
like,
to?
Take a stand.
Yeah. And here, this is exactly, for me, like a good example of what we were talking about with our music and movement, is you need to create more images. This image is so beautiful, like it's so well designed, it's so amazing, but it has such a specific style that I don't think it would take, after you develop this style and these colors and everything, I don't think it would have taken that long to make 3 images. And if you put 3 images.
Yeah, suddenly you have a series,
wow.
And maybe somebody might see it and think, oh, I'd like to have a series like that
this,
too.
yeah.
Maybe you could have one blue, one in another color, and another.
Yeah, showing just one means, okay, you did it once.
But can you do it again? It shows that you have the ability, that you understood what, a lot of people when they do, they draw cards, people say it's very easy to draw a card in one position, it's very difficult to draw a card in 3 positions, because it shows that you know how to change the position of the character and still keep the proportions, and that's very difficult. So it's good practice to continue with the series.
Also, I love how she says that it's based on her favorite series, Game of Thrones, but I've actually never seen Game of Thrones, so I don't know what the illustration's based on. I think the person's in a toilet.
Well,
I'm
I
not
think
sure
it's a
why.
play on words as well. It's like the throne, you know.
That's pretty funny.
The throne, yeah.
But I think there could be.
This doesn't happen in Game of Thrones, as far as I know. I'm not.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know if they have toilets. It's based on the
medieval.
No, they have holes. Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing your portfolio, and I hope the feedback was useful for you.
Thank you.
Let's go to Nicola Grandry, who's a 2D artist, motion designer, freelance in Brussels, in Belgium. So, Nicola, I hope you're in the chat as well. So, give us a hint if you're there, but we can start right away.
Yeah, we can go through some of the projects. We can look. I can click here. So, this one got a motion badge. So congratulations. That's a nice thing to get. Like we were saying that for us, it's been helping us so much to get the badges on Behance. And actually, one day, like when we were starting on Behance, I Googled myself, how do you get a badge on Behance? Like in case there was some way of promoting your work or sending it to the team. And I remember reading the guidelines that Behance was explaining there are some guidelines to how you can make something that it's going to get a badge. And one of the recommendations I remember was put the same image that you have on your small thumbnail. If you are putting something in the thumbnail, you should have it in your project. Because people, if they go to the thumbnail, they want to see what was that about. And then they recommend put at least 3-4 images, make a longer project. I think this project I'm seeing right now, this is beautiful. I mean, it's so well animated.
Renaud and Nicola are watching together.
Oh,
so, yes, they're both
hello,
here. Yes.
Renaud and Nicola.
Hello, I'm sitting next to Renaud, and we're watching together. All right, welcome.
This animation is incredible. It's so well done,
and so well designed as well.
I really like that they went like through the effort of changing the background color, making all the text white, and they apply that as well to the animation. So this animation has the background in black. It blends so well. It looks so beautiful. Yeah.
I like how they have an explanation as well. They're talking about how they use different types of transitions in the first and second parts. But they say, unfortunately, we never had the time to finish it. But I don't think you need to ever be apologetic when you're presenting your art. Maybe, I don't know, it looks very finished and good to me. So you could just pretend that this is finished even if you didn't have time.
It's like when you're going to tell a joke, you shouldn't tell before telling it that the joke is a bad joke, because nobody's going to laugh if you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't need to apologize for things. Like, I think it's good sometimes, if the project is good enough, let's just put it. And
don't tell them it's not finished. Tell them that this is an amazing project. It's an amazing project based on this, and talk about the transitions. It's really interesting.
And since you put it on Behance, you're proud of it. So, oh, wow.
These images are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous.
And also definitely finish it.
Yeah, this is incredible.
You have
it's
time.
really well done. I really like these vertical lines, like dividing the image here. I think it's so beautifully designed. This style as well. When we talk about, different styles, unfortunately, different styles are more commercial than others. It's obvious. I've been seeing it in my career. And this style is so commercial right now, because so many brands want this clean design. It allows them, this can be scaled, reads very well in the small and in big. I can imagine this illustration being printed in a massive scale, and it will look beautiful. It will look amazing. I think it's really, really nice.
Yeah, and coupled with the animation, it's so well animated, and it's a beautiful project.
The use of spheres, I loved before on the car. We were seeing how the spheres were acting as smoke, and now the spheres are acting as the lights from the car, and now as the smoke from this rocket. Fantastic how the rocket has everything. It's just like there's so much
Very
consistency in the design. Yeah, this is incredible. I really, really like it.
Yeah.
Beautiful gradients. Yeah, really nice. Really nice use of color, and it's super nice.
Yeah, Pauline says the animation is spot on, especially the dust effect makes it real. Kudos, yeah.
Really, really cool.
Yeah, Nicola says, thanks to Renaud, he's an amazing illustrator. Yeah.
Incredible, Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, well, congratulations for it. It looks really nice,
All right, maybe we have time to look at another one, last one.
Should we take,
Yes.
So
this is another video. And I guess it's the two.
Yeah, there's a description here. It's a Belgian band that has the particularity of creating music from sound they record in cities, nature, and everywhere else. This is really well described. The descriptions on these projects, this is really nice. This is exactly what I was talking about. And also credits.
Yes.
You can see who made what. You can see that it was directed by Nicola and Renaud. And this, even if you repeat the names, obviously don't get silly. If you have done something yourself, don't put your name 25 times.
Filmmaker,
People
designer.
understand. People understand. But if you are making something with 3 friends, explain who did what. Because sometimes people can get confused or think that you can do something that you don't know how to do. So
this is perfect. Yeah, the way they put the credits and the way they've described the video.
And
really
I think
nice.
this is really nice. But so you can see now we are scrolling. We didn't click on the video. Sometimes when you don't have time, only the action. We are so lazy nowadays on the internet, and only the action of clicking the video. We don't do.
It's one more click.
So putting GIFs is a great way of showing animation. Just showing clips, and you are tempting me now. You are saying
now we want to go back and watch the video.
It's a fantastic. We do this as well. Like sometimes putting GIFs is. It's funny how GIFs is such an old format.
Yes.
And that has come back in such a big way, and people are using them everywhere.
And the style frames, that's always nice to have as well.
Yeah, it's great to divide up the project like this, because now I've seen the GIFs, maybe I want to go back and see the video, and now I want to see where the video came from, how you came up with the ideas. Maybe I would put more description here as well, like what was the inspiration for this? It's so cool. You said that the band likes to play in nature. Maybe this is a specific story,
or maybe sometimes that's another thing we do is that if you are starting on paper, put your paper as some photos of your notebook, or even if you are doing everything on the computer. Maybe you can record film your screen for a bit, and then put a small time lapse in which people can see the process. It's amazing that people love seeing the process, even if they have no idea about how to do it. Only seeing it. I sometimes have my family, if they see me working one day, if I'm in my hometown working on the computer, they love seeing me modeling in 3D because it's very pleasant to see. It's a pleasure to see how the things are coming together.
Awesome. Well, thank you as well for sharing your portfolio,
Thank
and
you.
it's really great stuff. And this is a great example as well of storytelling. And this is, this is what we recommend to everyone who makes a portfolio online, is to really continue the storytelling and give us, as much insight as possible. Also in the workflow and the tools used, in the inspiration, and also the end result. What did it become? Was it a team? Who was involved? And just to give us context. And I think that is very, very important.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Cabeza Patata,
Thank you very much.
the Adobe live stream with you is finished.
Oh, thanks.
It was so great to have you here. And well, I wish you the best of luck for your talk.
Thank you very much.
So great being here, and for everyone that has been enjoying seeing our work, feel free to contact us. We love sharing, knowledge, talking to people, making friends. It's very fun. Yeah.
All right. So you all stay tuned, because we're going to be right back with Eylul from Ouch and my colleague Stephanie. So stay tuned and see you in a second.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.